The funeral smelled of incense and rain. She stood numb beside her mother's coffin when her husband arrived late, suit crisp, eyes distant. He didn't touch her. He slipped an envelope into her hand and whispered that it was time to end things cleanly. Divorce papers. At her mother's funeral, grief tightened her throat, but she didn't cry. Around them, relatives murmured condolences, unaware of the cruelty unfolding inches away. He walked off, relieved, convinced he had chosen the perfect moment. What he failed to notice was her stillness. Grief had sharpened her focus, not broken it, yet remained intact. In the days after the funeral, silence did the talking. He stayed out late, stopped pretending, moved through the house like a guest waiting to leave. Then the truth surfaced without drama, a message flashing briefly on the shared tablet, affectionate, careless, intimate. Another woman, not recent, ongoing. Everything made sense. The emotional distance, the impatience during her mother's illness, the calculated timing of the divorce. He hadn't left her because the marriage failed. He left because he had secured a replacement and waited until she was at her weakest. She didn't confront him. She didn't cry or accuse. She began observing, remembering, and collecting every detail he assumed she was too broken to notice. While he grew impatient for signatures, she became methodical. She spoke to a lawyer under the guise of confusion and learned how much he had hidden. Bank statements revealed accounts she never authorized. Property documents showed quiet transfers meant to leave her with nothing. She acted detached at home, letting him believe grief had dulled her mind. At night, she organized evidence, dates, and messages, building a timeline he couldn't explain away. Every lie he told strengthened her position. By the time he pushed for a fast settlement, she wasn't stalling out of weakness. She was waiting until everything he took for granted could be taken apart calmly, legally, and beyond repair. When the case moved forward, facts replaced his confidence. Records surfaced, signatures were questioned, and timelines exposed what he tried to erase. The woman he left her for disappeared once consequences became real. His accounts were frozen, his narrative collapsed, and the humiliation he planned reversed direction. She listened without interruption as the ruling was delivered, feeling no triumph, only closure. Outside, he tried to speak, searching her face for forgiveness or anger. She offered neither. She walked past him, steady and unburdened. Losing her mother had stripped away her fear, but surviving his betrayal had given her something stronger, control over her future, earned quietly and kept permanently.